What's going on in social media check-in?
All right, first question. My question is, my husband's birth certificate spelled dairy, D-A-R-R-Y, and it's actually spelled Daryl, D-A-R-R-Y-L. So his state ID spelled it wrong, and the marriage license is okay. All the other documents spelled Daryl the right way. So now the court date is May 4th. To change his name because of Corona, he hasn't heard from them. So they're asking if he can send it to immigration, just like he was born at Kings County. Sorry, I'm trying to reword it.
Yeah, submit it with an affidavit, just like I answered before. Submit it with an affidavit from people proving Darry and Daryl are the same person. There's a little more to it than just I'm submitting it and what the hell. You're going to need probably, 2 or 3 people to give affidavits that Darry and Daryl are the same person, and you'll have to give an affidavit saying you're in the process of correcting your birth certificate, but in the meantime, it shouldn't prohibit you from getting married and filing for your wife.
Next one says, hi, Brad. I have a pending judiciary review case again on the 9th Circuit on my asylum case, and I am married to a U.S. citizen. Can I file for both my I-130 and I-145 together?
The I-130 first, get it approved, and then make a motion to reopen your removal case with the Board of Immigration Appeals.
Our next one comes from Stephanie Momo saying, hello, I'm a U.S. citizen living in the U.S. for more than 6 years now. I'm in process to bring my family to live with me in the U.S. Please answer this question. My child is born after the I-130 for my wife is, so I guess the child was born after the I-130 was for the wife was approved. Now they're filing out the NVC documents, DS-260 and the I-864. And since I'm going to file for the CRBA, the consular report and passport.
I think I spoke to this guy, and I told him his son's a U.S. citizen. Is that the same question?
So they have about 3 questions. Should I include that?
Yeah, this was the question where I told them.
Is it the same one?
We don't fill out forms here on Bradshaw Live. But
oh gosh,
go answer the question.
Okay, let me real quick. Should I include the child in the affidavit of support for the I-864?
Yes, this is the same guy, but we'll answer it anyway.
Okay.
Continue.
What should I answer if your spouse is already a U.S. citizen living in the U.S.? Are you moving with your spouse?
Because I explained to him the question's not related to you. The questions are.
I remember
to your wife, right? So in other words, it's asking the wife who's in Africa, are you coming to live with your spouse? The answer is yes, because all these questions are about your wife, not about you. That's where he was getting confused.
Okay.
All right. Next quick.
Okay, this one comes from Yibasan, and they say, hi, Uncle Brad. God bless you for the good that you're doing. My friend was married to a U.S. citizen since August 2019, and they don't know what the documents they need to file their papers to USCIS.
Well, you need an I-485, an I-130, I-130A, the I-864, the I-131, the I-765, the I-944. Those are all the forms, plus proof you're in a legal marriage, plus 3 years tax returns, job letter, bank letter. Maybe you need a consultation.
Okay, Petronella saying, hey, Uncle Brad, asking for a friend. If her daughter's...
I think I said 944, 934.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Petronella is asking for a friend. If her daughter is filing for her, but she has lost her job and wants to file unemployment, will that affect her filing? Is that a public charge?
It's not a public charge, but it'll affect the filing in the sense that the petition is not working anymore, so you'll probably need a second affidavit support.
Alrighty, this one comes from Saliuba, and they say, hi, Brad. I have my wife in the States since March. She got her green card for almost 3 months, but not her social security card, and I want to file taxes, but I don't know how. I don't know how.
All right.
Can you help?
Yeah, she has a green card, but no social security? Is that what she's saying? Was that what they're saying?
Yeah, she has not received her social security.
She should get it shortly, but in the meantime, file your 1040 and attach a W-7 for a taxpayer identification number, which will give her a temporary taxpayer ID. And when she gets her social security number, you'll then respond to the IRS and say, here's her real social security number. But you'll attach a W-7 for a temporary taxpayer ID.
All right, Dee saying, I applied for an extension of a I-94 and was approved. I'm filing the I-485. It asks for date of arrival on I-94 and the date it expires. Should I put the date of the previous I-94 or the approved I-94 extension?
The date of the previous I-94 is the date of your arrival, and the date the extension expires is the date of the extension. Of the expiration, excuse me.
Okay, this one comes from Ma Dukes. It says, "Hi, Brad. My friend who has a green card and not eligible for citizenship until 2024, filed for his son in Jamaica, which was approved. Wants to know if his son can finish high school in Jamaica without losing the green card."
Yes, but if you're going to stay out of the country for more than 6 months, do a re-entry permit on a form I-131 before he leaves.
Kenny saying, "Hey Brad, I have an approved VAWA and now my adjustment is in processing. My status online shows that my AOS was transferred to an office in Kansas, Missouri, National Benefits Center from the Vermont Center, and it says it's because of fast processing there. So what should they expect? They were married to a U.S. citizen."
Expect it to process. What do you mean, what should they expect? You'll process you for your green card. You'll do the affidavits of support. You'll submit your police certificate, fill out all the DS forms, and hopefully they'll get a visa appointment soon.
Okay, next one comes from Dennis Chambers, and they ask, "Good day, Brad. My husband filed for me and my 2 minor sons. My priority date is July 29th, 2019. How long will we have to wait for the interview for a green card holder?"
At least till next year, because Trump is barring green card holders from getting green cards, right? From filing for their spouses.
Okay, Eagle RX saying, "Hey Brad, well, having deportable crime, which is not aggravated felony or PSC, can make you ineligible for asylum."
You could only not get asylum if you have an aggravated felony. So 1 crime of moral turpitude should be okay.
Okay, this one comes from Donis Robinson, and they ask, "I would like to know if it's safe to fly within America on a passport only. Child and I are
gotta be more
staying."
concerned about coronavirus than stopping on a passport right now.
Okay, Princess saying, how do we check the status of spouse status before I can file an annulment or divorce?
What do you mean, how do you check status?
How do you check the status of spouse status before I can file an annulment?
You want to know whether your spouse got a green card?
Oh, maybe, yeah.
You can't, unless they give you permission.
Okay.
Okay, the next one comes from Kate Simon, and she says, "Hi, Brad. Good evening. If you have a clean record but was placed under misrepresentation of fraud, is it easier to get a 601 waiver approved? Her husband is a U.S. citizen and she's in another country."
It depends what the fraud is. Yeah, obviously it's harder to get a 601 waiver approved with a fraud and a criminal record. Fraud's enough. It's hard enough to do it. But yeah, hopefully you can get it approved.
Okay, Therese Darku saying, "I have a question. I'm married and I'm waiting for a finally decision, maybe a final decision, more than 2 years now for the I-130 to be approved. But when the husband filed the petition for the daughter, she approved. But why my husband petitioned me was not approved yet."
What was approved?
So I guess the daughter's petition that the husband filed for her was approved, and she's trying to figure out why hers isn't approved yet, and it's been for 2 years.
Well, if her case hasn't been approved 2 years, then something's screwy.
Right.
So she needs a consultation. Why wasn't approved? I don't have the slightest idea, but we can figure it out. Yeah,
you need a lawyer for that.
Right. Excuse me, Brad. Why wasn't my green card approved from 2 years ago? How would I know?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. I have one here from Tunji Oriende, and they say, "My cousin applied for an I-765 extension, and due to the coronavirus, he got laid off from his job, and he applied before he was laid off, and he contacted USCIS, and they told him they sent him an initial and additional evidence, which he didn't receive, and now he's been without a job for 2 months, and he doesn't know what the document states. What can be done?"
He needs to contact USCIS again and say he still hasn't received it. fix his mailbox.
All right, Adewale Adams saying, thank you so much for helping a lot of people. My question is, how long does it take for the form I-797C to get approved? Because I'm an asylee waiting for it to be approved since I filed over 6 months.
I-797C, a receipt notice. How long will it take for your asylum to get approved? Could be months, could be years. People wait years and years. I don't have the slightest idea. You know, I don't know. But it could be months, could be years. But because you filed it more recently, you would figure it's going to be a couple more months, hopefully. All right, Vanessa, last one for right now.
All right, this one's the last one. It's coming from Maria Catondo, and she says, I'm a green card holder. I am Tanzanian by nationality. I had a plan to visit my country since back in May. Due to COVID-19, it seems like my plans are a dilemma. My father passed away a year ago, and and was not able to attend his funeral, and I did not have either a green card or a travel permit. As days go on, I am getting confused with the travel ban, and would you please advise me if it would be safe for me to travel? I really want to go home and at least see his grave.
They have a green, she has a green card now?
Yeah, I am a green card holder, she says. Not Tanzanian nationality.
All right, well, at the moment, there's no ban from Tanzania. So if you can get onto an airplane and go to Tanzania, you can go. You know, my biggest concern, and as a green card holder returning from Tanzania, you can return from Tanzania. My biggest concern is that with Trump, they changed the rules, you know, in a blink of an eye. So my concern is for you twofold. Number one, that you go to Tanzania, that all of a sudden Trump says you can't come from Tanzania anymore while you're there. Now you got a problem. Or number two, you can't get a flight back from Tanzania because all the airlines went bankrupt, or the airlines that fly into Tanzania went bankrupt. So now all of a sudden you're stuck in Tanzania, just not because of immigration, but because there's no airplane. And then all of a sudden you get stuck in Tanzania more than 6 months and you've abandoned your permanent residence. So, you know, those are all and of course, God forbid you get sick going to Tanzania and back. So it's not about the ban, it's about everything else. So if you ask me, is there a ban from Tanzania? No, there's not a ban. Go and come. Will there be a ban when you're there? I don't have the slightest idea. God forbid you get sick. What are you going to do? What happens if the airlines go bankrupt? Okay, so, everything changes on a dime. I'll give you a perfect example. My son was in Israel. Okay? 3 different planes.
Oh, that's right.
3 different planes he was supposed to come back this week. 3 different planes. All got canceled. I bought 3 different plane tickets for this kid. Couldn't get back. On the 4th plane ticket, I got him back, so he's in the air right now. He's literally flying right now. Israel just had a spike in coronavirus. So in the next 2 or 3 days, based on the news reports, they're locking down the country again. You can't come in, you can't go out. I mean, he may have been like one of the last people to leave. And he's an American citizen. How the hell would he have gotten out? I don't know. So, I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty in traveling right now, and it goes well beyond immigration. Thanks for watching. For more Bradshaw Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.